Alright, so it wasn't that long ago I did a video showing you my first impressions of the bare minimum bare cook pot, the folding pot, and I got a lot of comments asking how it compares to the Sea to Summit folding pot. And so today I'm going to do a first impressions on the Sea to Summit kettle, which is exactly the same as the pots. It's just I saved a little bit of money buying the smaller one. And so when it comes to the differences between the two, the bear bowl that I bought the Mama Bear, and this one is 64 ounces. And when you put 64 ounces of water inside this, when it's all opened up and everything, it says that you should not put water up to the snaps. And when you put 64 ounces of water into it, you have about 1/8 of an inch before it reaches those snaps. And then when you pick it up, because the sides are soft, they kind of bend a little bit, and they end up going right up to the snaps. And so for me, it's a 64 ounce pot. It can utilize 64 ounces. You might have to put the pot on the stove before you fill it the whole 64 ounces, but it can be done. It is easy to do. When it comes to the Sea to Summit kettle, they say it's a 1.3 liter kettle. But the problem, well, the first problem, is the 1.3 liters is at the very tippy top. Like there's not much room between the 1.3 liter mark and the very top of the kettle. Another thing is it doesn't even matter that it's 1.3 liters because the max boil capacity is just 0.8 liters. It's about half of the kettle. And I was recently at a convention down in the cities, and then I went to REI and bought this. But in the convention they had these things set up, and the pot that they had, the 2-liter pot, again had a safety fill line that I think was like 1.1 liters. So again, you're only getting to use about half of your pot. Now I realize that it's your pot. You can do whatever you want with it. It doesn't matter. But I just want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting. So if you think you're getting a 1.3 liter kettle and you want to use it the way it's intended to be used, you are not getting a 1.3 liter. You're getting a 0.8 liter. It can be extended at your own risk. Again, another thing that you'd have to decide if you'd want to modify it or not is the bear bowl. The sides are flame resistant. They're not fireproof, but they are slightly flame resistant. It suggests that you just don't want constant flame on these sides because they'll break down over time. And one of the suggestions that they make is that you can use aluminum foil to cover those sides so that the flame isn't in direct contact with the sides. And I'm guessing you could do the same thing with this kettle, use the aluminum foil, maybe. But according to the intended use again, there's a line on the bottom here. And it says that you can't have the flame past this line. And I'm guessing what that's for is the silicone is attached to the aluminum bottom, and the flame I think will heat up and separate whatever is holding the two together. It's probably some kind of epoxy or glue or something holding that together, and I'm guessing that the heat will ruin that connection there. So you don't want the flame coming around. And also I think that the safety mark, the 1.8 max fill line, is for, again, making sure that this aluminum bottom doesn't get too hot, separating the silicone from the aluminum bottom. So those are some things that you really need to consider. Those are some big cons in my opinion. I think that the bear bowl, it's a lot truer to what you're getting. It's a 64 ounce foldable pot. And I think that's exactly what you're getting. Where this 1.3 liter kettle, it's not that. It's a 0.8 liter kettle. and you have to be very careful on your fuel source. Where the bare bowl you can make do and improvise, where this one it doesn't seem like they want you to improvise anything. They just do not pass this line. Make sure the flame does not pass this line. And yeah, the benefits to the kettle, however, is it's super easy to open. And so opening it and closing it takes seconds, not even a second. Where this takes a lot longer. It's a lot more complicated to get this open than this. Another pro that I really like about this is these handles, because even if the bottom is hot, I can still pour this one-handed even. When this is set up, let me set it up for you real quick here. You can see the more that you do this, the faster you get at it. When I did my first impression video, it took me a long time to set this up, but it doesn't take that long. There's no pouring this thing because of this flimsy paracord handle. You can't really pour this thing, and so you got to kind of hold the bottom. Well, if the bottom is hot, it makes it difficult to pour, where this you can pour it all day long. It doesn't matter how hot the bottom is. With these handles you can pour, and it's got a little pour spout here, making it very easy. It's got a lid, which is going to help hold the heat in and help you come to a boil a lot faster, where the bare bowl doesn't have a lid. So there are advantages to having the Sea to Summit over the bare bowl, but you're not getting what they say you're getting, in my opinion. Same with the red pot. It's a 2-liter pot, and again, it's only 1.1 liter. It's important to note that you can use this however you want. However you want to use this thing, go at it. The reason I make these videos is so that you can see the intended purpose, the intended use of it, and then you can decide based on this video if you want to push its limits. You can decide if you want to modify it in any way you want. I just want to make sure that you understand exactly what you're getting, so that you understand before you even buy it that you will have to make those modifications, or that if you're going to use it for 1.3 liters, you are pushing it past its recommended use. And so that's why I'm making this video. I'm probably going to put more than 0.8 liters in here from time to time. But again, that's not its intended use. It comes with this band to hold the lid on, which I really like. And yeah, it's a kettle. The kettle I like because, again, with this we're probably going to be making teas. Caroline will be making coffee, and so you don't really need a big kettle just to make a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or something. So this is really good for that. And but when it comes to the bigger pot, again, it's only a 1.1 liter, buying the bigger one. And so I think that something like this, if you want something bigger, more capacity, yes, it doesn't have a lid, but I think it's going to be a lot more versatile using this and putting aluminum foil on it, or doing whatever you want to do to this, than it is buying the bigger one of these. Plus they're kind of expensive, so keep that in mind as well. And yeah, so those are my first impressions. And I want to know in the comment section down below, you guys really wanted me to compare the two. Do you have any other questions? I'm going to be doing videos where I'm actually using these and showing you guys how they perform, and if one's faster than the other, and this and that. But what do you guys want to see? What comparisons did you guys have in mind when you left that comment about how this compares to this? Because I want to make sure that I deliver the best content I can for you guys, and I want to make sure that I answer all your questions, because as long as I have them, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep answering your questions on what you feel you need to know before purchasing one of these, or what you need to know to decide that this is not for me, or neither one of these are for me. Let me know in that comment section down below. And then make sure to watch this video over here if you haven't seen the first impression of my bare bowl, because again, it's a learning process. Every single time I make a video, I get faster at putting it together. I get better at using it. And so if you want to see how flimsy I was when I first got it, you can check out that video, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next one.